The completion of our short-term trade worked out like a charm. Today marks a very important closure on the buy daily time frame as our volatility versus stochastic momentum backtest requires a particular setup on that very time frame to execute a massive move to the downside. Welcome back to the channel on this Taco Tuesday. This is ARCa, and let's dive into ticker symbol TSLA. Let's kill 'em, team. What is up, you guys, and welcome back to the channel. Let's go ahead and dive into ticker symbol TSLA. Let's go ahead and pop open this chart right here, team. So I want to show you right in the, you know what, we can see it here in the 5-minute time frame. It's all good, right? So this was actually the play that we were executing just a couple days ago, right? Yeah, actually right around here. We were talking about getting maximum exposure to the markets of a topside entry of around 240.86. So these were the 4 potential entries to the upside, and this was our range to look at for a potential bottom side of 232.20 to 229.51. And you can see here, team, that this was a massive play to the downside. You are looking at an over 8-point drop here that we were able to capitalize on from this entry here all the way down to that bottom side, team. So this was a great swing and a massive play to the downside. Now, there are a couple signals here that are already indicating for a potential downside. You guys already know that I've been talking about this downside for a couple weeks now for Tesla, okay? So there is a lot of pressure on the downside here, and there could be more downside to look at based on a few signals, okay? First of all, we have a continuation formation building right over here, and it is already approaching an apex of which can be looked at as a potential dangerous area for longs, right? So this is a continuation formation towards the downside, right? So if we were able to get a continuation formation price objective, then let's go ahead and take a trend line from the largest part and apply it down to here, and it's looking like we could be taken down to around the area of around $231, $232, yet again touching down on that very target that we looked at 232.04, right? But please remember that my target was actually 232.20 right over here, right? So but yeah, team, if this does break to the upside, then I don't know that it's going to have a lot. I don't know that it's going to have a lot of success, because we do have the EMA 200 on the 5-minute and the SMA 200 on that 5-minute time frame, alongside this massive 5-minute gap down gap from yesterday at market open, right? So 236.40 could be the very top side here if it even does decide to go to the upside. I will let you know here that we're getting several 5-minute closures beneath the SMA 50, and that's already pretty damn bearish. Okay, team, so this signals a potential reversal or a continuation to the downside, just like the continuation formation does. Next signal to look at here, team, is actually the 3-hour time frame SMA 50 crossing beneath the SMA 200, which actually marks off a 3-hour death cross. Okay, team, so that is a very bearish signal here, and it's happening in the 3-hour time frame, and price action is absolutely reading that. So the algorithm here from the ARC averages indicator, my moving averages indicator, is actually marking off a triple moving average crossover with this ball right here, right? So the opposing side to that would actually be the green, right? So if we have a green ball here, that would be a triple moving average crossover long, right? So is this indicator is also is able to give you the silver cross, right? Which would be the EMA 21 over the EMA 55. And it also has signals for the golden cross too, which is the SMA 50 over the SMA 200. In this case here, we're getting the SMA 50 below the SMA 200, which is completely bearish here, team. So this is just one of the plays that we were looking at, because we have a huge potential downside based on a statistical setup that I actually have put together here for us, right? So this is a volatility on a linear scale here, and this is created by the caretaker BBWP. The only reason it has ARC BBWP is because I've added some critical areas to the zones, right? So some critical contraction zones and critical expansive zones. So anytime that volatility has contracted into this area here and started an expansion phase towards the upside, I'm talking about volatility because volatility is direction neutral, remember. Okay, paired with stochastic momentum with a downside pivot, I have taken note of every iteration throughout its entire trading history on the buy daily time frame all the way across, right? So these are all the samples here to create this data set. So that condition here, 35 total iterations throughout the whole history here, 29 of those were guessed correctly to the downside. And, finally, I should just do this overall. Freaking finally, I can't believe it, man. So downside, okay. All right. So so it's an average downside accuracy of 82.86%, a massive probability here, team, which with an average breakdown of 14.70% over the span of around 30 days. Okay, so now I want to tell you that this 14.70%, don't actually look at that as just a 14% gain. I am talking about a 30 to 40 point drop. Okay, I'm talking about 230 to around 190 or 200, right around there. A huge drop. All right, team. So I have calculated the standard deviation, and that's coming out to a decline of 9.90%. Okay, so and I've also calculated the upper bounds and lower bounds of the first standard and the second and the third standard deviations. Okay, team. So these are all the metrics here for you. And I will remind the team that all of these guided plays, just like today's massive gainers on Microsoft and Nvidia, and I don't know what else. They're not going to be here on YouTube Live for too much longer. Okay, team. I am about to completely convert this the guided plays and the ARCa Bulls trading team plays. I'm going to completely convert them into a private Discord. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add the link in the description below. So make sure to catch that link down below and join the ARCa Bulls trading team. You will be trading with me on guided plays starting at 6:30 a.m., sometimes just before. That's Pacific time, and that is at market open. All right, so let's take a look at the probabilities here, right? So, all right, so the initial take profit target, we were very close to it today based on this ascending broadening wedge on the hourly time frame, right? So we're already looking at a target of 231.15. Today's low came up to that 232. What was it? 02. The low of 232.04, right? So very close to that 231.15. We came back up, validated the resistance of the regression here, and now creating that pennant here, that bearish pennant for a continuation to the downside. And it's looking like it's gonna reach that in the next day or so. Now, actually going back to the statistics, I know that this is actually a setup that everybody was waiting for, right? Because I've been calling it for a while now. Now, we are waiting for the volatility component to tell us what happened upon today's buy daily close. Okay, so we got today's buy daily close. We're not going to see what happened here with volatility until market open tomorrow. Okay, as soon as we get that data in, we're going to see here if we are at the 15% or beyond it or under it or whatever. Okay, but yes, we need volatility component and the moving average to actually be pivoted towards the upside and beyond the 15%, as that is exactly how I created the backtest. That condition is very strict, okay? As long as we are above the 15 percentile with a pivot towards the upside on both the volatility and the moving average, then we are set to go and good to observe other moves. Okay, team. So I want to show you something here that we still have downside, and please notice it on this triangle formation here on stochastics, right? So this is the convergence of momentum happening right now. Okay, so this is that massive downside that I'm still thinking we actually have to go, and this is on a daily time frame, right? Or by daily time frame. So you know that's going to take some time. All right, so let's see what happens here at the AM tomorrow and find out how we're going to continue, right, team? Because the first targets to look at here, of course, other than the 231.15, which I expect to hit literally tomorrow, I do see the potential of hitting these lower targets, which would be the first target based on the breakdown of this rising wedge, right? So that rising wedge first target is located at about 224.37. 27, and there is a range here geometrically speaking, right? 2.618 at the 221.45, and that is the geometric mean, right? So now the absolute lowest target from this formation itself is actually leading to what's very confluent to the statistical bottom side. This triangle here is leading towards the downside, and it's confluent to the minus 14.70% statistic, okay? The triangle is suggesting 204.11, and the statistics upon the firing of the signal, which we're going to observe tomorrow, in a speculative manner, it's suggesting around 202.95. Very, very, very curious and very close. Okay, so yeah, I think that's about it for Tesla here. Let's just go ahead and observe the potentials for tomorrow, as there could be immediate short-term time frame upside. Okay, so now if we do get that upside, then I expect it to actually rise up to, like I said, right, to around the SMA 200 or the EMA 200 on the 5-minute time frame right over here, right? But if we observe that, look at the left screen, not the right screen where my mouse is. Look at the 5-minute screen. Okay, you see that right there? This is the top side in the hourly. Now look at the 3-hour, right? So now the 3-hour is built there. If that happens, we could be building another formation here that could be a bearish one, right? So let's go ahead and just take note like this. Let's just change it color so that we're able to, actually see it here, right? So yeah, well, and you know what? Let's make it a solid line too, so that it's absolutely clear, right? So that's that, right? We have a head right here, and we have a shoulder right down here. Okay, so you're looking at a head and shoulders potential here that could lead price action to an even further downside, like the one that we're talking about, right? This could be the preparation for it. If we are prepping that, let's go ahead and observe here, or at least speculate, right? So we have, yep, this is the neckline right over here. Nice contact points, right? From the top of the head to the neckline. Take a trend line and apply it to the middle of the right hand shoulder. That is taking us to 223.98. And from our targets here, 223.98 is landing right in between this area here. In fact, this target is 224.37, which is the breakdown target of the rising wedge. So you can see the amount of confluence here, right? Everything is confluent and everything is rhyming with each other. Like I said, there could be a short-term time frame upside, but I wouldn't bank on that. So please make sure to watch your position and watch your risk on this play, because I still can see a continuation to the downside, and it's a very dangerous downside, okay, team? Make sure to have your risk parameters set, and do not trade if you don't have that in line, okay, team? So, yeah, I think this is a pretty good place to leave off. Please remember that I only have two seats left in the ARC Masters trading course. So go ahead and reach out to me at arcmasterscourse@gmail.com for the 17-week mentorship. Okay, this is going to be the very last one I ever teach, and there are only 2 seats available. So go ahead and claim them before it's too late, and get the year started the right way. Okay, team? I appreciate everybody for coming on by. Make sure to join the Discord for the ARCa Bulls live trading and guided trades, and we'll be good to go. All right, team? Please take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever. Never, never, and never, and never. I need you to do your own due diligence, and everything will be cool. But with that said, team, I wish you well, a very good rest of your night, and I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios, team. Yeah.